Oh no, don't get that same crap that I had last time. Are we live? We are live. We are
We are?
live.
Oh, cool. How do I see people talking? Can I see it from my end?
You can on your if you put YouTube on, but you have to uh
Oh,
you
it's okay.
have
I'll check.
yeah, you have to silence the stream. Otherwise we get an echo. Hello
Okay.
everybody. Good to see you all. Hi Mel. Good to see you. Dennis, Leyland, and who else is there? Not many because I saw actually that Elena Danan is live too. So probably many will be watching there and they will come on here later when I'm already offline. But I'm glad to see you all. And today we are with Zoe Jackson. And Zoe is, I saw her last week on Elena Herrera's channel. Hi, Jenny. Good to see you. And I put the video in the description from last week. And I liked her so much. I figured I need to have this woman on because she's amazing. And hey, Laura, good to see you. And Suki, and so today I'm going to talk with her about her experiences. And Zoe has a gift that she recently discovered. And well, we're going to talk about that and how it all started for her. And she has her child with her. So he might be sometimes there, but that doesn't matter. He is gorgeous. And yeah, it's beautiful. And so let's start with your story. Actually, where did it all begin?
Okay. So I guess our in this term, relative to what we're talking about, this all began last year. Really, it began last year when I woke up with a dream. I woke up from a dream and I never dream, and I remembered every detail of it. And I was on a ship with some very big and like militant beings. I can't remember the words, but I remember the male was talking to me very sternly. And it was happening in a place in my life where I was kind of like drifting. I didn't really have any direction of what I was doing. And now when I go back and recall that memory, I feel like he was telling me like I need to focus and like get on my mission, you know what I mean? But he was when I woke up from the dream, I had the word Pleiadian blaring in my head in hot pink letters. And I had never heard of the word. I had never seen the word. And it was like something emblazoned it in my mind, like correct spelling and everything. So I looked it up, I Googled it, and then I fell down like a 6-month YouTube hole.
Yeah, welcome to the world.
Right, where I like couldn't get enough of this information. It was like what I had always been missing. It was my soul was hungry for it, and like I
Yeah.
kept looking at light codes, and I felt like I was like drinking them in and listening to light language. And after about 6 months of that, I was like, I can't take it. I don't want to look at another activation. I can't hear another. And I kind of stopped. I just stopped. And
So did you get like experience during that time as well?
I feel like I was just sucking in information. Like I was just, I'm sure I know my guides had everything to do with it. It was telling me to watch this and watch that and read this and read that. And then it like went away. I just forgot about it for like 2 months maybe. And then I started like I tell people all this time, when I started the Etsy shop, I have no recollection of writing that. Any of the stuff that you see written for the Starseed report, when I look back and read it, I'm like, I don't remember writing that at all. People will tell me like, I've been seeing angel numbers and stuff like that. And I was like, why are they telling me this? So when I looked at what I wrote, it was like, if you've seen angel numbers, then, this is
No.
for you, right? And I don't remember writing the listing. I don't remember making the shop. It was
What?
total, right. It was total guidance. And then I did it January 29th on my oldest son's birthday. And I got my first customer on March 13th. And when the little notification dinged on my phone, I was like, what? I forgot about it, right?
No.
I had forgot about it. I was so excited to do it. And and it just has been off to the races since then, since I activated the first person. I feel like
wait, but so you made that, and there is this. So she has an Etsy shop where she has all sorts of activations that she got from the guides. But then there is the one that requires, well, one the most of them you just have to download them. So you just make them one time, people download them, etc. But then there is the Starseed activation, which requires you to obviously do the job. So were you like scared?
I was more excited. I was super excited. I felt I was like charged up. I was like, I don't know. I was really, really, when you align with this kind of stuff, like stuff that's with your mission, it just kind of ramps you up, you know? And I wasn't scared. I was just excited. I remember I did like, I gave her like my number. I made like a little GIF for her, like a little a Google image to go, not a Google image, like a dancing image to go with it. I just like went all out because I was so excited to do it. Now I don't have time to do that, any of that at all. Like now I'm just like,
so how many clients have you had since?
Oh God, hundreds. It's been hundreds. And everyone is so different, but they're all so profound. The experiences and the results that they have from receiving the activations. I get emails all the time telling me like, this is amazing. I've had like just today I was reading one email from a girl who said after she received her activation, she met two beings that came and sat with her and held her hands, and they did energy work with her. And it's just like the result. I can't, this isn't happening for me. This is just coming through me. Like I'm just so grateful.
It's amazing because they make the titles for you, they make the prices for you.
Yeah,
they literally guide you to do everything. It's so interesting because when you start a business yourself, right, it's like, oh God, where do I start, right? And for you it just went like steam train.
But like, here, this is what you're doing, and just like, and do it and and get to it. And they pick the artwork, they pick which thumbnails are gonna get people and they encode it. I feel like so the ones that are supposed to be receiving it will draw your eye. That's what I tell people when you're picking it, that what resonates with you is for you. It's really been made just for you. So some people use their pendulum to pick. Some people will just, oh Jesus, hold on one second. This the arrow.
She's got the most beautiful son.
I know, he's in his
little eyes.
Yes, he's a little hybrid. He doesn't feel well. I'm so sorry, guys.
Don't worry about it. Bring him in.
Okay. He's a little Pleiadian hybrid.
God, yeah. I mean, look at this one.
Hi? You want to say hi? Oh no.
Hello.
Okay. You just want to. Oh, you can say hello.
Hello, beauty.
Yeah. So dealing with that, dealing with the activations, dealing with children. I don't know. I don't even remember what we were just talking about.
We were talking about how they actually pretty much build the whole business for you.
Right. So I don't have a lot of, I think the last one, pre-recorded one I made was the telomere one, the telomere regeneration one.
That's the one I chose. Yeah.
And I remember asking them out loud, like, how much should this be? And I was getting all sorts of weird numbers coming through. So I was like, give me a solid sign of how much you want me to price this listing at. And some guy outside of my apartment yelled one really loud at that exact moment.
No.
Okay, then it's $1.11.
Because it's ridiculously cheap. And now that you had your interview with Elisa, you must be swamped with work.
Right. And so if anybody is watching that has ordered an activation, I'm working, as I have gotten your pictures, I'm working as hard as I can. I'm like cranking out a lot every day. So even though it's been about a week, they're coming. Just hold on tight because I haven't forgotten anybody.
I saw it was actually put on pause, the whole shop.
Oh yeah, Etsy paused my shop.
Oh, did Etsy do that?
Yeah, I woke up one morning and Etsy was like, your shop's on vacation mode because I guess it was just too much. I feel like it's the interference we were talking about again, which
Yes.
is why I've been trying to tell people, to just email me. If you are interested in receiving an activation, to email me and we'll figure it out, because I know my purpose here is just to wake starseeds up, and I don't want
Right.
anything to get in the way of that at
Actually,
all.
Elisa is in the chat. Hey, Elisa, good to see you. Yeah. So you know what you should do? You should start your own website. And that
You think
way,
so?
yeah, of course.
I
So
wouldn't
that
even know where to begin with that.
I'll help you.
Okay,
We
good.
all help you. Don't worry about it. But because your work is important and there's a reason they put you to do this.
Right.
And it's amazing what you do. I've done the telomere activation. I was I was blown away by it.
Good.
And it's so incredibly powerful. And it's amazing. And I love your energy, and I love that your gift is actually faster than your brain can manage.
It's
It's
so true. It's so true. I don't even know what's going on half the time. I'm just like, I just open my channel to it and I let them speak. I just let it out.
it's so amazing. It's like, yeah, okay, now it's the time that you get up to your mission, and here you've got it. It's
Right. And
like
that's why I feel like they're aligning me with people like you and women like Elisa, who can like give me some more support and guidance, because I just like, I don't know what's going on. You guys help me so much, even with, everything from how to protect myself, how to protect the people that I'm working with, how to protect my computer from,
very
dealing.
important. And
Yeah.
yeah, but that's interesting because you do get all these messages in, but you're still actually figuring out how do I protect myself, and what is actually going on. And it's like almost it's going backwards for you, right? Like
Right.
you get the full-blown experience, but you haven't yet learned all the side things as being a human,
Right.
the 3D things that we bump into, being
Right.
attacked, being blocked, your computer being shut out, all those stuff
I
is
don't.
it's important that you protect yourself against that. But
Right.
I mean, I'm actually mind blown by the stuff that you experience. And I'm sure and I know quite a lot of starseeds, but I've never seen anyone that had it the way that you got it in. But I think
Oh.
it was meant to be.
I think, yeah, the way that everything is taken off so quickly, it can't be any other way. It's really, it's when I think about it, like, this has only been going on for 6 months. It's crazy. It's really crazy to think about. And I can't, now I'm getting,
Well, there you have it. High energy.
right. So now I'm getting more guidance on working with star seeds that are activated, and they're like just sending me just floods of information on exercises and activations to help them master their gifts, because so many star seeds are like, don't know what to do with their gifts,
Yeah.
and they want to offer their what they can do to help, but they're just like, it's not reliable, it's not consistent. So many star seeds have these experiences with clairvoyance and clairaudience and telepathic messages and seeing stuff that nobody else can see, and seeing orbs and auras, but they're like, I can't rely on it, it's so inconsistent. And that's what a lot of is coming through now on ways to work that out, so that
Right.
they can become what they want to do, which is help humanity wake up.
Well, and you know what actually blows me away? Because you said, I heard that in Elisa's interview, you said, like, a year ago, I would tell everybody that they have a tinfoil hat on, and now here you are. But
I know.
but any other people, many I know, they freak out when a being appears in front of them or anything else. You had none of that, it appears.
No, I was like, I told them that I was afraid. I told them I could feel their presence very close to me. And I would always tell them, like, I don't think I'm ready to see you yet. Like, I don't
Oh,
think
really?
I'm
And so they wouldn't show.
but they would just talk to me energetically, right? Or but now I get there, I don't see them like in my house or anything, but when I am meditating or if I'm remote viewing or astrally projecting, then I'm comfortable with seeing them.
Wait. The timeout. Astral projecting, remote viewing. You do all that ever since 6 months only?
Yeah. So yeah, they've
Like, serious?
I
I
know.
hate you.
I'm sorry. It's like, so now, yeah, because a lot of the things that they've been showing me require me to be there with them. And
Yes.
so they've been showing me like glimpses of it's not it's not like a dream. It's not like a dream. It's like I'm just in a different dimension. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
so I could be there for a while. And then when I open my eyes here, not much time has passed, it seems like. Or
But before all this, you never ever had any
I was
experience or
always a
even
hippie. I was always, I've taken mushrooms before and I thought I saw hallucinations and stuff. And I've always been a free thinker. I've always known that like this society doesn't match me. I always have,
right.
right. I've always been when I read about the childhood of a starseed, I'm like, that's so me, because I never connect it with you. And I was
Yes.
always kind of observing them. I was always like curious about them, like data collection, more, but not really like not like a deep connection. Like I never felt like part of this society.
Right. But you
But
didn't believe, I mean, you did believe in it though.
right. In what?
Well, in the fact that there is star seeds, there
Oh,
is
now I do.
connections.
Now I do. I used to think anybody who talked about aliens was crazy. I thought those were the crazy people. I was like, those are the people you don't make eye
It's
contact
so not
with.
fair. The chat says it too. It's so unfair. I mean, literally, it was just thrown in your lap. But I guess you are the perfect person to do this because your energy is so uplifting and so positive, and it's like not a care in the world. Well, obviously, that's not completely true because we all have our moments. But, it's just that I do believe that you were the perfect person to experience it the way that you did.
Right.
And
I hope so.
and it's like what, 2 minutes to midnight, right? And this is why you got activated this fast.
I think, yeah, and it seems like there's an acceleration happening. It seems like there's an urgent need to wake up more starseeds fast, like they're racing against something, which is like
Yes.
that's why I'm like, bring it on. If you feel like this resonates with you and you want to get activated, come on, let's go, because like for some reason this is very important and I'm just going along with it. I really want starseeds to win whatever is going on. I want the starseeds to be the one that's winning.
It's amazing. So for now, so you have got so you made the shop, then you got your first client, and so from there it rolled on. And
Right.
so what are your experience there when because obviously did it start instantly with getting connections with all these beings that you need to connect with for others?
Right. So that was a learning experience. I was kind of learning as I was going. My guides are Pleiadian, and they showed me how to channel somebody's energy through their photograph. And as I would kind of just sit and zone out in their energy, the beings that are guiding their mission would present themselves to me. And then I would just write down anything that I was feeling, and I would ask them for an activation, a DNA activation, and then I would just hit record and record what was coming out as I was channeling the light language.
But what I love about your activations is that it has more layers. You've got music
Right.
in there,
Right.
drums, and
They
then
give me all that. They show me which tracks to put, and they've even, what's really funny, they showed me like which music won't get me in trouble.
no freaking way.
They're like, no, that one has copyright infringement. Don't use that one. Or like,
no.
sometimes frequencies that are important for that person's energy are underlying, and then like a lot of times the activations are layered, so they want to awaken certain things in you that would support your mission. If it's like a third eye awakening, or an animal communication or telepathy or clairvoyance, or just amplify what's already there, it will be like a softer layer underneath the original DNA activation, so your subconscious can receive it all at the same time. So that's why it takes so long for me to make each one.
I can imagine, because you have the light language, and then there is your voice guidance, and then there is music, drums, kind of a tribal thingy sometimes. But my God, that's when I heard it for the first time, because I heard light language and all that before, but the way that yours is done is so meticulous, I would say. But I mean,
it's very important for everybody's individual energy. 1 second. I'm listening. I'm here with y'all.
Yeah.
It's very important for everybody's energy for it to be that unique, because that's what makes it work. Give me 1 second.
Go ahead.
I'm so sorry.
Don't.
Right. This is my life. Activations and babies.
Don't worry about it. Oh, look what I see there on the wall. You guys see that? That's the Kala chakra. We just talked about it yesterday. Amazing. No coincidences, are there? Hey, Duchess. Good to see you. Duchess. And who else is there? Up 3. Yes, she lives in the US. Who else did I see? Angela, good to see you. Still awake. Phil Thick, good to see you too. And who else is there? Jenny. So nice you're all here. And isn't that interesting? That thing on the wall there? We were just talking about it yesterday in a chat. And there it is. That's so amazing. So anyway, yeah, she got just activated that quickly. And hey, Duchess, is that where we know each other from? Yes, good to see you. Nice that you're here. No, that's called the Kala chakra, Elisa. It's what Buddhists made. It's actually called the Wheel of Time, and it's kind of a mandala, and it's beautiful. It's I have it actually in our group chat as the profile picture. It's the same thing, only mine is made by a Tibetan monk, and it's made completely by hand. It's incredible. And if you look at it and focus on it very long, you can actually see like, what is it? What is it called? A temple coming out, 3D. That's what it is.
Cool that you know what that is.
I have the real version at home from
I can't afford the real version.
Oh no, me neither. I just got it sent to me. I got it given to me, and I didn't even know what it was. I found it so beautiful. It was made by hand. I had it on the wall, and I was like, "There's more to it." And so I looked at it for 3 hours straight, and all of a sudden,
do you see
all of a sudden it started moving, and that's when the palace came out, and that's when I only started researching it, and that's when I learned about what it was.
And do you see how much like their energy they put into when they're making these tankas? They're like in a meditative state the whole time. They're channeling literally while they're creating it. This is a cloth one. I feel, even though it's like a replica, I still feel a very big energy in them. I have them all over. I could stare at them forever.
Because I don't know many people that know about this. I just shared with all my friends yesterday in a chat, in a voice chat. We were talking about it, and I shared with them what it was. And so, and then we were watching some videos where they make it with the sand, and then they destroy it completely.
Oh yeah,
it's mind-blowing.
And some of them, the Buddhist tankas, they do with like gold, 24 karat gold. And
mine has gold in it.
Does it have the little curtain that you cover it with? Some of them have they come with like a little curtain, I guess, to protect it. I'm not sure.
Actually, mine is actually, let me get it, because we're here anyway doing live and living.
We're living on live. I wish I could see everybody talking, but I guess I will see it afterwards. So sorry for the delay, everybody.
Okay, so
Hopefully.
this is mine.
There it is. Wow.
And it's completely made by hand
Yeah.
with pigments from nature. And there's gold in it, but I don't know if you can see it. If there's gold, it's like during the day you can see it. There's gold, real gold in it.
Right.
And if you focus on it very long, it starts moving. It's a 3D.
It looks like it's breathing. Sometimes it looks like it has like a rise and fall to it. Sometimes I know they're meditative tools, so you're supposed to stare at it, but sometimes I'm like, I lose like an hour just like getting lost in that thing.
Yes,
so
yes,
incredible.
Me too. And it's so detailed, and every little thing is 3D. So everything moves separately from each other. And to think they make this by hand,
right,
is out of this world.
It's like, imagine what we could do if we didn't watch Netflix.
Right?
We didn't have, I don't even watch TV anymore.
For those that know, I put the name of it. It's called the Kala Chakra. And you can find them online. You can buy them, but there is different levels of it. Right. It depends on the monk that studied it. And I have the most detailed version you can get.
Yours is very intricate, and it's good that it's in a frame. I've seen that a lot of people who have the authentic tankas like you have, they come with like a little satin curtain above it, and they'll cover it up at night. Just to protect its energy. But it's good that yours is framed.
Oh, really? I didn't even know about that. I got it, interestingly, from an ex who got it from an ex who went to Tibet. But I'm really happy with it. And maybe it was meant to be here, right?
Of course. None of this stuff happens by accident, especially highly charged spiritual tools like that. You were meant to have that. If it went down the most awkward social chain ever.
And I didn't know anything about it. It's just my own mindset. There's something to it. I need to meditate on it. And I did. And
that's your claircognizance. That's what
blew my mind.
Your whole body just resonates truth. Yeah. So sure.
It's amazing. And you can buy them online. They're not cheap, apparently. I didn't even know. Well, I can imagine that because it's made so meticulous by hand.
The original ones, I think, you can buy them online. But the authentic ones, like one of the ones you have to get a dealer. You have to have like a Tonka dealer.
Well, but these are, you can get them online, but then you have to get them from either Tibet or those countries there. Yeah, you're not going to buy them in Germany, so to speak. It's not like somebody makes them there, because those people are, to make something like this by hand is, I mean, you need to really know what you're doing.
And it takes, it's like so amazing that you have one. It's so cool that I'm so glad I decided to throw my computer here.
Yeah, no coincidence. This is it, right? There is never a coincidence.
And isn't it weird when you start thinking about that? Like, I don't know. When I start thinking about all of now I don't even call them coincidences, just synchronization, and when people are starting to align with their truth, that's why I think they start seeing all of those angel numbers. Like, because it's just, some people believe when they see an angel number, it's an angel saying hello, but it is on a different level. But I think it comes from that alignment. When you're stepping into that alignment, everything starts just like leveling out. Like every time you look at the clock, it says 12:23 or something like that. It's like,
for years I see 15:51. We have the 24-hour clock, right? So 15:51, I cannot begin to tell you how hundreds of screenshots I have from that same time. And every time I'm like, why do I look always, and it's not like a number like 222 or 11. No, but it's that specific number. And I thought, and literally I never looked it even up until only recently. And then I forgot, to be honest. But because I see so many of them, I can't even keep up anymore with them. So it's going on for years now. So
right now I just kind of laugh when I see them, like, okay, so I must be doing something right. I don't know. Yeah, I used to always see 1, 2, 3, 11, 23, 321, 231, just every combination of 2, 3, and 1 all the time. And I don't know what it means either. I work with a lady who sees the world in numbers.
Oh,
If she looked at you, she would see what number you're resonating at. She doesn't even like, everything is a number, and she's brilliant. She's a biochemist, and we're working together because she's just trying to figure out, like, what do I do with this? Like
can I interview this woman?
yes, absolutely. She's incredible. She's incredible. She sees music, she hears music in numbers, and the numerology system doesn't really satisfy her because she's so like, I think she sees the world like the Matrix, like the numbers just falling down in the sky, And
I know
she
somebody like that too, actually, and
right,
they
she's
see
always correcting.
geometrical patterns,
Yeah,
like
I will
geometry.
definitely give you her information because she is so interesting. And she will like, she's like fixed the numerology system. She's like, no, it's not correct. She's like, that's not the way it's supposed to be.
I
She'll tell
love that.
you, right?
You gotta have
She'll tell
people
you,
that
she'll
think
like, no, this
outside the
means
box,
that.
right?
Right. And she's brilliant. And she will, if you told her the 1551, she would tell you like a full sentence of what it means. So I will definitely give you
Yeah,
her information. She's so cool. But
that's amazing.
it's like that. It's like these gifts that all these star seeds have, that they're like, there's just something really weird about me that doesn't fit, and I want to figure out what to do with it. And that's where it seems like we're going now. I
So
don't.
do you get then for these clients messages specifically where they need to work and what, because, after all, you're here to accelerate the whole thing. So I can only assume that the people that come to you, that you get certain messages as well. So can
Right.
you tell a bit about that?
Oh yeah. So some of the star seeds I work with, every time we work, we tune into their guides, and a lot of times their guides are talking to me before our sessions even begin about what
Oh,
they need to do, and like what. Some people's guides are very pushy, but it's very specific. Sometimes it's an activation, sometimes it's a meditation. Sometimes we've built portals. We've like in their mind for them to travel through to. We've done mission work. A lot of times there's mission work where they've been sent to certain places. And yeah, it's always so different. It's always so different. It's very unique
amazing.
to what you're supposed to be doing.
That's so amazing. And especially the rate I mean, we're talking not even 6 months, and literally you are accelerating the whole thing.
That's what
It's
I feel. I feel like there's some sort of rush happening. And I don't
yes,
I don't want to like panic anybody, but there is like this push. So
urgency. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
there's
urgency. That's what I'm looking for. There is this urgency for people to awaken
yeah,
quickly. Do you have
yeah.
any insight as to why maybe that would be happening?
Well, all I know, but that was because I listened to Elena. She had well, she's also channeling and all that, and she said there is indeed an urgency behind things now,
Mhm.
but I cannot tell you exactly the why.
Okay.
And so there were people that are suggesting, oh, because there is some kind of a pole shift might happen or a solar flash, whatever.
Right.
But well, I think it mainly has to do with that the star seeds that need to wake up. We also are amplifiers for the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So I think that will speed up everything for the
Yes.
rest of the world as well, because I think it does go too slow. I mean, look at the news. If you didn't wake up right now, like 3 years ago, I thought the same already. How is it possible? Are still people so asleep? But
Right.
it is, it is.
And
And
it's
so,
so sad. It is so sad to me when I like, because my earth parents are kind of very much asleep, and now I just, especially all that I've been shown these past few months, it's like You can't shake them. You can't shake them and force them to wake up, because
No.
it's when everybody's ready, when they're ready. And so right now it's just like, oh, and my mom is just, constantly sending me vaccination this, vaccination this, vaccine, like all these constant articles. And I'm telling her, like, sometimes these aren't even written by a human, mom. Like, these are sometimes just pieced together by hashtag computers trying
Yes.
to sensationalize you and make you afraid. My mom caught a cold the other day and had a full-blown panic attack. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, do you remember a year ago when you could just get a cold and it was just a cold? It was just a cold. It wasn't like
Yes. Well,
anything that.
maybe that's the reason, because think about it. We've got now this incredible I've got something in my hair. But we've got this incredible how you call that, division of fear, and obviously
Right.
we didn't choose that. We know where that comes from, and so I guess this is the counter move in order to accelerate the awakening in a different way.
Right.
And so I intuitively, that's what I would say is the reason,
Right.
because you
That
you
makes
you need to have a
so much.
backup plan,
Yeah, that makes so much sense. Now that you're
right?
saying it does, it makes a lot of sense that they would be trying to equalize, the energy.
Yeah,
It's
and
like
if
so
somebody
much.
can make that difference, it's those star seeds. It's
Yeah.
you
One
know
starseed, even in its dormant state, a starseed that in a dormant state is amplifying and breaking generational curses and blood curses and like all this stuff that they do, even when they're asleep. And when they're activated, it's so much stronger. So yeah,
exactly.
that makes
Exactly. And that's definitely what I believe is the reason, because it kind of happened, well, indeed 6 months ago, all of a sudden I start to see this acceleration everywhere. And that's not a coincidence either. So I do believe it's a counter move in order to a plan B in order to wake people up, because if this is not waking people up, then what will? Well,
no, I cannot go through. I feel like humanity always goes through these renaissances where we reach this
yes.
golden period of everybody's happy and everybody's making enough money, and then we can focus on fine arts and music and dance and all
Yes.
these amazing things, and then it gets smashed down, and then we're back to like shoveling coal in a factory, and another industrial age happens, and then we like slowly crawl back up to this golden area again. And I hope what they're stopping is that descent from happening
Yes.
again, because
Well, I think that's why we are here, because I do believe that at a certain point when the vibration is so high, you put it over to other people, and then that spreads like
it's a ripple. Oh
actually we
yeah.
were talking about it yesterday, the fact that we're all over the world and we're already connected. We create a
Right.
grid of light.
Yeah.
And once we all get activated even more, I mean, sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Cosmos is the
and,
limit.
and, and it makes sense that like my email accounts are getting shut down and my Etsy store is getting paused, and all this stuff keeps happening, but it's like it doesn't deter me. I am sure
No,
that some people would see that as like, okay, well, I guess I'm done, but it makes me kind
no,
of laugh now at this point. I'm like, it's
right?
confirmation that this is real. I'm like, this is really happening. Like,
Yes.
I can't believe my Google account got stopped for unusual activity. I'm like, what's unusual about sending an email, or like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Well,
just,
you are a threat to them. Don't forget. I mean, think about
I'm
what you're
figuring it
doing.
out.
Yeah. Think about what you're doing. I mean, that is a massive, massive threat for, the dark side, so to speak. And so it's very important that you never give up. And we're going to help you not giving up and
Yeah.
getting it even better and get it out there, because this is so important. And you're just one person as well doing all this. And luckily, many of the things that you do, you can tape it and then people can download it.
Right.
But the personal activations obviously are time consuming for you,
Right.
especially now. You're probably swamped, right, after your interview with Elisa.
Well, yeah. Yeah. And it's all, I noticed the beings that were attracted to watching these videos, like your audiences, are very, very different from what I'm used to activating on Etsy. There's like some high, I guess people who are awake to this stuff are already a very high vibration. I
Yeah.
told you when I was channeling your energy, like my computer kept messing up. I had to like go ground in, I had to go put my feet in the dirt. I was like, what is going on with this woman's energy? And then I ended up getting interfered with. Even, it was just, so you
Yes.
guys are very different. And I'm so honored to work with you because I know I'm just going to learn so much. Because everybody that I activate, I learn, while I'm doing it. I'm
We
learning.
all do, really. It's because it's a reciprocal thing, and that's the beauty of it, right? Because everybody that is a starseed, we all connect each other, but we all activate each other as well. It's
Right.
amazing how that works.
It does.
And your skills obviously are out of the roof, but there are other things that you're still learning,
Right.
because your gifts like sped up with you in a way that you couldn't even
I'm
comprehend.
catching up to it. I'm actually like my brain is catching up to what's happening, and I'm like at a 9-second delay. I'm even maybe a 2-day delay. I don't know. Like after I'm mailing out people's activations, they're telling me their experiences. Then I like catch up. I'm like, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe that came out of my mouth. I don't even remember doing it, and like I could not tell you what I said. There's some people who understand the light language, which is incredible. They listen to it and they're like, I feel like I've heard that before. I feel like I know what was being said. And that's remarkable. I don't even know what I'm saying.
I found out I did this as a child already, but because it felt so good, I never knew it was light language until just this year. And I was like, oh, I did that as a child
Right.
constantly. And now I'm like shy to do it because it's gibberish,
It
right?
is. It's gobbledygook. That's what it is. And if you feel like, and I've heard your story. A lot of people said like, I remember speaking this language when I was little, and I stopped, and because it does feel silly, but it also feels really good. It
It
feels.
feels,
It's
it
like a
does.
release when you let it out, and I think cutting it off and suppressing it. It can create blocks. So if you ever feel like letting out, just scream it to a tree or
Yeah.
something. Or something that's not going to judge you.
Well,
I'm sure.
now it makes sense to me, right? Now I don't have that, like, but I don't do it myself, but I don't believe, well, maybe I should actually. I don't even know. But, so can you tell me about the certain messages that you get through that are actually important for everybody to know?
Oh, okay, yeah. So they shift. The messages usually are uh not always, they're not the same for everybody. Some people have very specific messages, but the general message that has been coming through now is to let yourself feel the awkward, uncomfortable feeling of telling humans what you are. If yeah, like going, you're trying to prepare them, and I hope, fingers crossed, that this preparation is for contact, so that we can actually see these beings that we've been working. And
Yeah.
the and so a lot of the messages that are coming through lately is to hold yourself in your truth. Tell people what you are. Claim your starseed identity. Tell them, I am an Andromedan soul in a human avatar, and I'm here to help you wake up. And let them look at you like you're crazy.
Yes.
Because and once that will pass, and then they'll start to get used to it, and then they'll start to accept it, and then maybe when an actual Andromedan being shows up in its natural form, they won't be so quick to want to kill it, or
Yeah.
you
Well,
know
I think there will come a time that those that want to kill it are going to be laughed at, right? Because
right.
I already feel that, but then again, I also surround myself only with people like that, because I just can't stand that
Right.
other world anymore
But it's
longer.
still there. We're still the minority. I know, like
Yeah.
I surround myself with like-minded people as well. And I'm always so shocked working with the general public of like, I'm like, oh God, like really? It's like, I can't believe that you've lasted this long and natural selection hasn't taken you out yet.
That's what I say, but you can't say that out loud.
Right, it's just so silly, but Yeah, we're still very much the minority, but we're getting there. It's so funny because I feel like a lot of people think they get hung up on the vehicles. They get hung up on the spaceship and what the ship
Yeah,
looks like.
who
And
cares?
right, and a lot of these beings don't need ships. They don't even need a ship. They travel without, they can like make themselves a particle and like show up, or they just show up with just their consciousness and leave their physical form, sleep somewhere. We're still looking for like, we're still trying to put them through our social filter, which is we travel in a
Yep.
vehicle. So they have to be traveling in a vehicle. And
Yeah.
it's going to be a surprise to some of these UFO hunters when, you know, they've been surrounded by aliens their whole life. Your whole family is starseeds, you know, and like you've been looking in the sky waiting for one and you're
Yeah,
surrounded.
that's what James Gilliland always said. All you need to do is look in the mirror, and there you have your alien,
Right.
right?
It's
Right.
serious.
So why do you need the picture of the hands? What you do with that?
Oh, the hands to help me channel their energy. It just helps. It's not as necessary as the eyes. The eyes I really need. If I was just using your hands, it would take me all day probably. But the hands and the eyes make it much faster for me. It's to get it done quicker. I know some people are very uncomfortable taking pictures of their hands, especially
Really?
um, oh yeah, this is more so than their eyes. I've had, and that's fine. So I told them like, if you can just do a close up of your eye. Some people are very uncomfortable with photos at all.
Right.
And I get that. I've had some people tell me, you know, like I've had a starseed reading, and all the person needed was my birthday and my name. Like, why do you need a picture? And I don't work that way. I wish I could. I don't know. I think a lot of those people that use your birthday, they use like a very intricate natal chart where they're like
Right,
find out
right.
which star systems you were close
Yeah,
to.
but I've done those. That's the astrology, that's the galactic astrology. I've
Mhm.
done that. And you can see in the chart, in your birth chart, what your heritage is.
Yeah,
But what you do is so much more personal and so much
right.
more in depth, because you literally just channel these people as soon as you look in their eyes.
Right. I'm just trying to see who's in your energy, who's coming through, who wants to speak for you, who wants to, you know, we have like, we're like the ground team, and we have like a support, you know, we have like a whole team that they always say, like, your mission is our mission. It's the same mission. Like, we're here to guide you. There's so much monitoring that they have to undergo to communicate with us. They have to, you know, they approach our higher self first before that any message even comes through intuitively. And because of like the catastrophic events that have happened when alien beings have contacted human or 3D plane anything directly, even if they're talking to another starseed that isn't awake to their identity, it can be crazy. It can, like, you know, it can go in a negative way if, you
Yeah.
know, they're just all of a sudden this voice in your head like, hello, I'm your Pleiadian father and you need to do this, that, and the other. You know, it's like you would think that you're nuts. So they to avoid any damage, they're so subtle. They're so
Plus, not to mention that every specific being even has a different approach and a different,
right.
because they're from different densities, right?
Exactly. Right. And the different and the higher you go dimensionally, the more uncomfortable you are and being in this very dense form. It's like I see a lot of the beings from the 12th dimension, like, and even angelic beings. I've seen people who are incarnate angels, and you would, you know, we stereotype angels as being like these perfect holy things, but a lot of the angelic beings that I've seen are, they hate it here so much, you know,
Well,
they hate
who wouldn't?
it. And they have
Really, you don't need to be of a high density to know that. But even if you're from a high density, I can totally understand that.
they hate it. And so a lot of the angelic beings that I have channeled for have like substance abuse problems or very severe mental problems, because they do anything to take the edge off, you know, anything to take, to
I've
kind
been
of,
there.
right, to make this suck less. Right.
Yes.
Right. Right, because
Yes.
they feel it every low frequency, that this planet is majority, you know, low
Yeah.
frequencies, and they
So
feel
then,
it a different way.
how, what is then, because I was an addict as well. I've been through like rough patches and all that, and I do know that um, there is. I come from these higher densities,
Right.
and many people that I do know. So then, how do they deal with that? Because they know there is substance abuse, there is depressions, there is anxiety, there's all that, and yet you incarnate here
Right.
as for a mission.
Right.
That's like a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Right. And
So
so your higher dimensional self knew what it was going to suffer, but it's like the nobility of these beings, they like don't care because they're like, I like if they're suffering, I'm suffering. So I'm gonna go do what I can. I can't just sit here and watch what Gaia is going through, and
but
act like,
how do they then get through these people? Because I
oh,
know for myself that with the antidepressant that would block me like no
right,
other. And so, and I happen to have friends that actually were contacted on behalf of me,
right.
because of
And
that.
your
So
team was like, we're going to talk to her, no matter what. I
so
love that.
but obviously that can happen to everybody. So then do you get any messages about how to go about that? Well, obviously you won't be contacted by star seeds that want to get activated while they're in that heavy, although maybe they are. So
Sometimes they come for different reasons because I offer a custom light language activation. So sometimes they will come for that and they'll say like, can this help me with addiction? Can this help me with breaking karmic cycles? And then once they feel the shifts that happen with them, then they're like, well, I'm curious about your starseed thing. Like, what else can you do? So sometimes it comes reverse. But with a lot of the angelic beings I've worked with some that are on very heavy medications, and it
yes,
like that sedate them and slow their mind down, and yet they still know who they are, and it's incredible.
amazing.
It's incredible. I had one lady that I did an activation for, and a Pleiadian and both a Pleiadian and a Blue Avian came through her energy to channel her DNA activation, and um she was on a lot of medication for severe bipolar, and she like
Which
lost
by the
her,
way is not bipolar, but
right,
never
right,
mind.
right. And she just lost her mind because she had like all of this Pleiadian stuff, and she was like, I can't believe these two random dimension things showed up for me. And she had a tattoo of a Blue Avian on her arm, and it was so crazy because I was like, see, even with all of the medication you're on, something is still getting through to you about your truth. The fact that you've connected with these beings before I even talked to you, and they are the ones who came through to talk to you. So yeah, I think
Exactly.
even with the pharmaceuticals, it just slows the starseed down, but it can't stop them. It
So
won't.
then do these beings help them also to get rid of it
Right,
easier?
right. Usually
Because
when they receive the activation, they're like right away like, can I stop taking this stuff? I know some of them take an injection, like a monthly injection for I don't know. I don't trust any of that stuff. I really
me
I,
neither.
I feel like it's just such a low frequency way of dealing with the problem. That's not a problem. So
Exactly.
many, so,
But
oh, go ahead.
some of those are so dangerous to just quit. I know that
Right.
personally because
Yeah,
it
yeah,
took me
yeah.
forever to get off these antidepressants. So I wonder, do they actually help? Because honestly, this was my eighth attempt, and I'm now off them, and I feel pretty good, and I'm so surprised.
Right. And you were smart about coming off of them. You didn't just stop. I'm sure you wanted to. I'm sure you wanted to
Yeah.
just throw them in the toilet. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but you can't because you're going to kill yourself.
right,
I've been there 3 times and it's so dangerous. Your brain doesn't make any serotonin anymore. So,
right.
you need to, but I'm quite surprised how easy this last piece went.
I
And
think they're definitely helping you. I suffered with addiction for a long, 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 long time. And when I finally decided that I wanted to be sober, I thought I was going to go through incredible withdrawals because I was abusing opiates. And like
right,
opiates, the withdrawal of that it's nasty. It really hurts. And I I thought I didn't suffer at all. And now when I look back on it with hindsight, it was totally being assisted because
Yeah.
I didn't feel sick. I didn't feel low. I didn't feel like I need to stay in the bed. I didn't get sweaty, nothing like that. I just, when I decided like I'm done with this, I just stopped. And I was like waiting, I was waiting to feel terrible, but it never.
Right? I had the same. And I was like, hang on, I mean 8 times and now it happens. But at the same time, I was activated a lot in the past 6 months myself. And
Right.
so I'm not surprised that I had a little bit of help with that. Because also your vibration heightens. And so with that, it might actually take a lot
Yeah.
of the edge off as
I
well.
think so. And I think that's why it's so important for these big pharma companies to keep people at a low vibration. They don't want you to raise your vibration, and they discredit
Exactly.
everything. They discredit anything that might help a human wake up is dangerous, is deemed very dangerous. And like,
Absolutely.
yeah, and I don't know. I feel people have asked me about Kundalini awakenings and if that's safe. And I'm like, yes, absolutely wake up your Kundalini power that lives in you. Why would that be dangerous? Like
Exactly.
why?
So then, because then over these couple of months, you've met all the beings you can imagine. That you even think, wow, are there so many? And well, obviously at that point you would, but I mean, the strange beings you see, right? That it's quite a shock, I
Right.
guess.
Some of them are very strange. But I have been learning that the ones that I'm meeting, the ones that we really, really know about are called farmer races. I might be saying that wrong, but they're the ones that really seeded this earth, that really were like, we're going to band together and help. So it's I feel like I keep meeting more and more because even their cultures have subcultures, and some of them, especially the higher you go dimensionally, get very, very different looking. I think the Blu-ray beings are very different because I can't see them. I'm used to seeing something, and they're just. I've heard people talk about orbs, but when I finally saw one in real life, it was so much smaller than I expected.
Really, I'm still waiting to see one too.
Well,
And
you have, and you just wouldn't even know. It's like this teeny, teeny, tiny little blue dot, and it comes in like clusters, and you'll feel their telepathic energy is profound. So
wow,
you'll feel them, and a lot of times they'll speak in music. The Blu-rays will speak in like different. All of a sudden, like this random lyric will just keep going through my head over and over and over and over again. And as I like listen to or look up what song it's from or listen to the general feeling of the song, it's usually a message. It's always a message.
that's so amazing. And so then, because then you hear them rather than you always or meet them. And so do you have any specific messages sometimes that are for you when you actually channel for somebody else?
Oh, that are for me?
Mm-hmm.
When I'm channeling for somebody else, no, because I'm asking them for to support that individual. But what happens is sometimes after I close their session and stop the recording, their guides are still there. Like they'll stay all day. Sometimes they'll stay like I'll hear them or feel them all day, pushing me. A lot of times it's just motivation and support.
Wow.
Yeah, and sometimes it's and lately it's just been all of this curriculum. It's just been this kind. I have notebooks and notebooks full of these exercises for starseeds to just master their 5D capabilities, and that's what seems to be the focus now, which is like, okay,
Right.
so now you're activated, so now it's like let's start to practice
You
what you
should
can
start
do.
your own YouTube with that stuff.
Yeah, I would need your help with that.
No problem. No problem whatsoever.
Okay.
But it is almost like, they made like a collective deal that if Zoe contacts you, because it's important for the
Right.
starseed, right? Because it's not like everybody can contact every being, but apparently you can.
No, and well, it does seem like that. It seems like if it's my energy there, then they know that it's okay. And I've, my higher self has given consent. I have given consent to just speak to me. You can speak directly to me. I'm not gonna, I don't know. I don't know why I don't know.
Well, it is interesting. Think about it because it's really interesting. Not everybody can do that. So clearly, they probably have with these federations made a deal, like Zoe there. She,
Right. And I'm sure
and
this is something that happened before I incarnated here. That I was like, when I finally stop drinking and taking drugs, I'm gonna wake up and start working for you guys.
right. So, do you know your own heritage then?
Well, I only get Pleiadian contacts for me. And
Okay.
it's kind of like tickling myself. I've tried to channel for myself and it doesn't work.
That's so annoying, isn't it?
It is. And I've asked other people to channel for me. I get all sorts of things. And I know it's not very important because I know everybody's from
Right.
everywhere and stuff like that. But it is cool to know. It is just cool to
It
know.
is,
Yeah.
right?
But I'm cool with my Pleiadian guides. I love them so much. They're all sorts of different. They're just like us, like with personalities. Some of them are very playful, some of them are very serious, some of them are
Right.
very maternal and loving. And it's very cool to know that we have been helped, that
Right.
we have been helped and that we're here to help because it makes you not feel so much like a victim to everything that's going on down here, when you feel like, oh
Right.
yeah, so I came down here to do this on purpose. Like I'm not suffering, I'm actually working.
Well, yeah, I've got that now too. Well, I suffered a lot, but now it's like everything is relevant, really. Because,
Right,
but I wish I didn't know. I know that before, but obviously there's a
right,
reason I didn't know before.
right.
So, you have to go through all that before you get to finally see the big picture.
Oh
And
yeah.
so, is there, can you tell a bit about all the different beings that you have had contact with? And
Okay, yeah. I
yeah,
have had contact with, okay, so earthly wise, I've contacted with um Atlanteans and Lemurians and Fae, the what we would call a fairy, I guess, but they're not
yeah,
little, or they're like bigger than us. And so those are the ones that are from this realm that I have had transmissions with. And then Lyran, Pleiadian, Sirius A and B. I've never gotten anybody from Sirius C. Um, let's see. I'm always forgetting there are Andromedans, Arcturians, and blue ray beings, blue avians, angelic beings, and I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. I think
so
that's
then
it.
my question is then, like, because clearly they all seem to always be the same sort of groups, and those specifically were born on Earth as well as starseeds. So
Mhm.
were
Oh, and
there,
beings from Orion. Sorry, I forgot them too.
right, and Venus.
And Venus. Ah, that was different. And then, gosh, I'm still
But
mad about that.
oh, don't worry about that. I mean, I'm not even going to talk about it. But so then, we just did you ever had a being that you thought, well, I've never seen this one, and only once?
I've never seen. Yeah. So I had one channeling session where there was a white reptilian, and I never worked with them before. And I didn't know what to think because I read so many like terrible things about the reptilians, but her energy was actually really nice. So with just going from my gut, I don't know. I don't know. But that was one being that I never saw. It was like a pure white or reptile scaly lady, for lack of
Wow.
a better word. Yeah. That was different. That was new. That was
Because
new.
I heard you say at Elise that the Pleiadians are in the majority
Right. Right. They're the most.
represented, and so then I wonder what is there, why is that, and why, um, because obviously they all work together, but then
Mhm.
why per se that one so many and those so few? Does that depend on their mission?
I don't know. I would have to ask. I don't know. I know there's so many different cultures that have interaction with the Pleiades, right? And the Pleiades is in everybody's mythology. It's in the Bible like 7 times. It's
Really?
right, like even the car, the Subaru car, that is Japanese for Pleiades, and like
No way.
yeah, it's like the 6 stars in the symbol. It's like representative of the 7 sisters. The Pleiadians are so interwoven in our culture, and
Wow.
I guess that's why their presence is so profound here, and their seeds are waking up in masses and, and masses,
Yes.
you know.
Amazing, amazing. So then, what are the messages you get for, like lately for people in general? Do you get them, and do they ask you to maybe broadcast them as well? Because at the end of the day, you get your activation programs that you have in your shop,
Right.
but you
Right.
will.
So I have been getting a lot of pressure to have a social media presence, and I don't know how to do that.
I help you with that.
I
We'll
don't
help you. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
I have an Instagram, but it's like all my kids. It's nothing really about this. And but I have been getting a lot of transmissions about how I can reach more people, a broad scope of people quicker
Yes.
with like channels like this. And I'm sure that's why they've guided me to you and Elisa, and start even TikToks, which makes me nauseous.
No, no, don't do the TikTok. The TikTok is, I don't do the TikTok at least. And
Okay, I think
obviously, even on YouTube, it's a bit the same, you have to watch out which words you could use, and otherwise you
okay.
get blocked and all that. But there are, and I stream on different platforms at the same time. So if this gets taken down on YouTube, then I'm still there.
So you
And you have to, but I'll teach you. And
okay.
so you clearly have been. I just actually cracks me up that they already know the algorithms more than you do.
I know. I know. They're like, you're gonna get in trouble if you use that song. No, because somebody's gonna hear it and they're gonna yell at you, and then we're gonna have to start all over. And I'm sure that's why I'm getting led to masters like you and Elisa, who are just
Oh,
like,
I'm not a master.
well,
Uh,
you are in a sense. You're because of you have the intuitive knowledge of what works and what won't. You
well, that's
know.
rather experience than anything else. So,
Okay.
and I learned the hard way myself, right?
Okay.
So, but with your skill, it's obviously more dangerous. The fact that you've been taken down, like with your Google account, with the whole Etsy shop,
Mhm.
and then you need to start looking for alternatives. And well,
Right.
I've been around that block for 4 years now, so yeah, I
Right,
know the
and there's
ways.
a lady that I work with who is a profound star seed, and she has been dealing with negative interference. And while we are even setting up her Zoom call, she'll ask me like, "Okay, so we should have WhatsApp going at the same time, and this going at the same time, and this email, and have this phone ready." And I'm like, "Why? I don't what? Like what?" She's like, "Because sometimes it turns my computer off." And I told Elisa that's like we were talking about it for 5 minutes and her computer just went. As soon as she started
Yes.
talking about it, it just went bloop. She was just gone. And it blew my mind. I was like, this is real? Like,
Yeah. I see it now as a good indication that you're on the right track,
yeah,
and it's you can't get any better confirmation than that, really. And there are more alternatives than to go about. So it's kind of a compliment, even. Right?
it's a pain in the butt. It's so annoying.
I
It's
know.
so annoying.
Tell me about it. I mean, I had 9 accounts on Twitter when I was taken down 9 times. So yeah, yeah, you get really frustrated, but at a certain point you start to get used to it, and you're like, okay, let me
Right.
get a bit smarter about it,
And I
right?
think, yeah, so that's what a starseed would do. A starseed would be like, I'll just figure a way around it. Where I think they're used to other people hitting a wall and being like, okay, that's the wall. That's where I stopped. Right. But a
Yeah.
starseed's mind would be like, no, there's a way around this. I'll
Well,
just
we cannot afford to stop because that's why we're here,
right. It wouldn't make
right?
any sense to stop. It would not make any sense for me to just be like, okay, well, no more. I'm getting back.
Exactly.
That
So
would
tell me about your activations, how you got them, and from what different beings they are. I can share my screen, but people can watch that on Elisa. So, but
okay. Okay, so The activations, the most recent one, that the telomere one, was by Anunnaki beings, which was really cool because it was nice to dismiss all of those nasty feelings that we associate to that word,
Yeah,
and know that there's two sides to everybody, and that
exactly.
they really want to help. And there's the Pleiadian beauty codes, and they tell me like the titles to write to really attract people's attention, but they have secret agendas. Yeah, it'll make you, they really want to like activate people's auric presence, because
Right.
what they're learning on Earth is that nobody knows that they have an aura. Like nobody even knows that they have one. Humans really feel like they are just this body, right? And
Well,
they're right.
yeah, that's foreign to me, but yeah.
Right. Right. So yeah. So when I'm telling people, like, I'll get messages like, is this really gonna make me beautiful and stuff like that? I'm like, well, it's gonna activate your radiant body. And they're like, well, what's that? And that's what they want to get people starting to think about. Like, there's more to me than this.
People underestimate beauty because they say, oh, you look so gorgeous, isn't that? But I looked like this when I was 20 and in my depression and everything. But if
Mhm.
you look, it's not the aesthetic part. It's
No,
the
not at all.
radiance. It's the energy. It's the same that you have somebody that doesn't look that attractive, but if they are confident, they
Right.
are incredibly attractive.
Exactly. It's the je ne sais quoi. It's the, like, what they say. They say there's just something about her,
Yeah,
and it's literally something about you. It's something all around you. It's this what is the word? It's magnetic. It's like
yes, it
that's
is.
what attraction is.
Um,
And I totally know what you're talking about, where there can be the most aesthetically beautiful woman who like has this personality that makes her look so ugly,
yeah,
right?
or empty. There's this empty energy.
Oh
And
yeah.
so, and then it's just gorgeous and that's it,
And that's
right?
it. It's boring, and now I'm bored. But if there's a woman who's might not, be the most quote unquote attractive physically, but she has this presence about her and a confidence, then that
Exactly.
you can't look away from that. You know what I
No.
mean? So that's really what they're doing with that one. Is just
Well, that makes sense actually. I discovered that already, but it makes sense that they actually have an activation for that. And then people think, oh, but then I'm gonna look younger and this and that for their
right.
aesthetics. Yeah. All of a sudden I've got bigger boobs. No, that's not what beauty is about.
Right.
Beauty.
And it's fine. They're like, whatever it takes to get our foot in the door. It's like, whatever. If it's the money, because if you look at the majority of the activations, and it makes sense, people are
Yeah.
tired of struggling. They want money, they want abundance, they want love. They're tired of being alone, and they want to be beautiful. And
Yeah.
that's really it. Like, I
Yeah.
think that's the most popular ones that I have, are like the beautiful ones, and the ones that attune your frequency to attract abundance. And it's really just changing your energetic pattern, to remove these blockages that you have around money, so that money will start flowing towards you, because it's really, you're creating this
I
reality.
need that activation.
Yeah, and it's very cool, because it's not like, prosperity is not just money. Prosperity is just being prosperous all around. And the results have been incredible. People are like, all these opportunities are opening up that have never been available to me. And this, that, and the other. So when I made it, I think it was the Atlantean wealth frequency. And it was the same frequency that they picked up from when Egypt was dynastic, when Egypt was like at the top of its empire. And when people see that, their eyes get, and they even showed me how to make the thumbnail. I picked like the stock photos to blend together to like
Wow.
a Tut's tomb, and then like a girl receiving money or something. And they've planned all this because they know what's going to get their attention. And once they receive that and they start to see that it works, then they're interested in more. And then, even then, their consciousness expands to think like, I can just listen to something and my life will change, right? And I
Yes.
deserve to feel
Well,
this.
look at me. I did a telomere one. I already look 10
Right.
years younger since yesterday. No, I'm kidding. But but because you got that from the Anunnaki. So are you saying that it's the Anunnaki that made us grow older quicker?
They were beings from the Anunnaki. Well, they
Yeah,
are
I know the
Nibiru.
story.
They're from Nibiru. That's what they
Yes.
call it. And um, yeah, they were reckless, and they were
Well, a part
powerful.
of them
Part of
went,
them,
yeah, went to the dark side, and then they messed around. Yeah.
right? And they turned humanity kind of into cattle, right? Into like a slave race that can't have a have the life they're supposed to. I think you see a lot of starseed things talking about activating your original blueprint, and that's because humanity has a blueprint that's been like altered, severely altered, and every time a starseed soul incarnates into this body, it heals it a little bit more to be able to receive, you know, humans feel like they should be able to feel things that they can't. They know in a subconscious level that they should be able to do more. That's why you see, like, artistically they make movies like X-Men, all these
Yes.
superhero movies. They know that there's more that they should be able to
Yeah.
do, and but they can't, and it's frustrating.
Well,
And
they
that,
also because they're so programmed to believe that they are not good enough and that
right,
they are less, and that, and the whole point that it's in a movie is because it is
right,
in a movie, right?
right.
It
But
can
think
be
about, like,
real.
what inspired you to make that movie. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes,
think about that. Like, and when that conditioning that you were talking about to of not deserving is so, it works so well. Like,
yes,
that's all. You don't even have to deprogram a human. You just tell them you don't deserve anything good, and they'll believe it, and then they
yeah,
won't have anything good. You
exactly.
know?
But that's, well, that's obviously with the law of attraction, but that goes so far. I learned about that quite a while ago already. It's literally, if you think that you're going to die of a disease, you're going to die of a disease even if you didn't have the disease, right? So it goes really far. And
Right.
but if you think that that can happen, the opposite can happen too.
Thank you. Yes, yes. Use the same techniques that they've been using to destroy to rise up, right?
Yeah.
Placebo, the power of placebo is incredible. Like, somebody
Yeah,
can take a sugar pill and heal themselves from this profound disease, and then they find out later on the test like it really wasn't any medication, it was your head. Like, it was all
exactly.
in your head.
I've experienced that because I used, at the time I was heavily addicted to Xanax, and I had them in drop form. And so I had a boyfriend, it was in Italy at the time, and he swapped them for water, and I didn't know.
Right.
And so all that time I thought, I'm calm and all that.
And you felt it, and you
I
really
felt
felt
it until he actually admitted it to me, which
oh,
sent me in a full panic and
what is
go
it?
back to the old way. But later on, years later, I thought about it and I thought, wait a minute. But if I can do that and get so upset about it,
Right.
then I could do the opposite too.
Right. And you made yourself feel like you were feeling that experience. That's how powerful your mind is. That's
Exactly.
how powerful your mind is. You can make yourself high. You don't need drugs. You can just
Ex-
get high. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, it just blows my mind. I know exactly what you're talking about. Even experiencing with my addiction, I know the feeling that awful feeling when you can't find your drug of choice, and like, oh God,
oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna get sick, and I don't have enough money for it, or like nobody's answering the phone. You get like this panicky, worked up feeling, and then when you do get the drug you're looking for, you don't even have to take it. Just holding it in your hand, you feel relief, right?
Yes.
Just
Yes.
knowing that it's
You're
close
like
to
calm,
you.
that whole
Right.
panic.
All of that withdrawal feeling goes away. So that's what started to tell me, like, this is all in my head, because I haven't even swallowed these pills and I feel better. Right. Like,
Exactly,
it's so,
exactly. It's amazing how that goes, and we still are on so many levels programmed to, yes, to the worst, but also to little subtle things that have such an impact still on us. And it's, for example, by telling ourselves we're not good enough,
right.
right? Or we can have this, or we can't have
Or
that.
original sin. That whole original, you were born broken, you were born wrong. That
That
whole thing.
I do struggle with the whole money thing still. And I got them all down, and I'm like, why this particular thing can I get down? And because there is a certain programming belief system in it, and maybe that goes back generations, who knows, right?
Right. Oh yeah, and you can absorb things from your parents. And it will imprint onto the fatty shaft around your spine. How your parents were feeling around money when you were in utero is how you feel. That's just imprinted. And it goes
Wow.
so deep. And then it can go through past lives. If you went through a potato famine or something, you know what I mean? When your past life, that's in your auric field too. It's so much that you have to
Yes. Well,
disentangle from.
this is why we need to break these circles now in this
Right.
moment, because especially now when we're going to the new earth, this is where you need to break these cycles. It doesn't matter how tiny and ridiculous they seem,
Right.
but they do all have an
All this
impact.
3D, only some people can be rich and I will never be there. It's not real.
Yeah,
Everybody can be wealthy and the world would be fine. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. And it's interesting because I picked the one with the telomeres first because I was already doing that. I knew about the telomeres, and that's what makes you older because they,
not a lot of
degrade.
people know that. That's very cool that you knew that.
Well, yeah, and that's why I was dropped because I saw the interview. I went to the page, and the first thing I saw was the telomere, and I was like, I need that, right? And I did the activation, and instantly I felt the moving in my body from it. It
Wow.
was so powerful that,
That one.
yeah, it definitely, I mean, I'm mind blown by your activate. Well, that's the only one I did really. But now I want to do more, just like everybody else.
Right. And you can, but like I said, when people want to take a lot of light language, will always complement light language. So it's not like you can undo one of them by listening to too many, but I would space them leave a day between each one so you can rest. So your
Yeah.
physical body can really catch up to the upgrade because it can wear you out. It can make you
Right.
feel kind of
Yeah, and you shouldn't be too greedy either, because after all, no, because literally we do them also out of ego. Let's face it. We
well,
want it
yeah,
all at the same time. And if there's somebody that knows that nothing comes all at the same time when you want it, it's me. Because,
right.
I've been working so hard and everything goes so slow. That's why I'm actually quite laughing when you come in with your skills and it's like, bam, and it's there.
Right. But I'm still like at the same time, I take 2 steps forward and 2 steps back because like I can activate 40 people in a day and then I have a week of trying to figure out what happened to my Etsy shop. Or like, it's like so it's still I still need the experience to match what I'm doing because it's still like,
Yeah, I thought that you actually quit the that said the Etsy shop at pause, but
no, I
no.
didn't. They did it. They did it. And I don't know how to remove it. I guess I don't know. I sent
They
out a couple emails to their customer service and I think it's just waiting. And still, like I said, if anybody if this is resonating with you and you feel you're guided to do it, just email me and I got you because yeah, I'm
yeah.
not trying to let this stop anything.
Well, you should just build your own website and put them on there, and nobody can take it down. It's that simple, really.
Yeah.
You know,
It's just
right?
that if I'm like, I'll just go build my own website. I'm gonna be on Fiverr for the rest of my life. I feel like I live on Fiverr now. I'm always like
I don't
asking.
even know what that is.
Oh, Fiverr is when you can just like ask somebody else to do something for
Oh,
you.
I got you covered.
Pretty much, I'm like, can you make this? Or I don't know what I'm doing. And then it's usually some guy in the East, in
Yeah, yeah.
Istanbul or Pakistan. And he's like, I'm trying to explain to them what light language is. And he's like, okay, I'll just Google it. And then they come up with like these amazing graphics or whatever. So I live on Fiverr. But if it comes to a website, I would definitely appreciate some help because I don't even know where to
No
start.
problem, no problem. So let me see, what time is it actually? Holy, we've been already talking for almost 1.5
No,
hour.
you're so cool.
Yeah, time flies, right? So okay, let's close this off. And what is the message you want to give people that are star seeds or that potentially want to get activated, other than
Okay.
going to your Etsy shop?
Oh, so I don't know if we can write it somewhere. Maybe I don't know if you can write my email address. My email is Zoe@activationsbyzoe.com. It's
And
just Zoe at activations by Zoe.com.
By
And
Zoe.
I will get back. If you feel any kind of resonance, until I can figure out how to get the shop back up, and you want to get activated, we'll figure it out. I'll figure out how to work out. You can send me your photos, and we'll figure out payment. But just like I just want to get people in the queue because it is a large queue that I'm working with, and I don't want anything to slow this down. So
Right.
yeah, so that's the only message I have. I'm going to be working with you about getting more online presence and figuring out YouTube and websites and stuff
Absolutely.
like that. So all that's to come.
We're gonna help you out. I put also the links from the Etsy shop in the below in the description, as well as the interview with Elisa. And I guess you know, you will hear a lot more from Zoe soon. You know, we only have to get it set up, and you know, you are a blessing, because I believe that people really, really are in need of your skills. And I do believe there's no you know, coincidence that this is all happening right now. And we can do group activations, indeed, up, we can do that too, you know, and organize whatever. And
that sounds like a plan for sure.
yeah, you think that it can be actually done, group activations?
I know it works it's very powerful when it's individual, when it's personalized for you, for your energy. It's more powerful. But there, you know, like the pre-recorded ones that I sell on Etsy, those are applied to anybody who listens, and it'll apply to
You
your
know what you could do? You could actually ask the beings, like all the Pleiadian activations, so everybody's Pleiadian can come in, and then, you know, different
right. Try to
groups.
hurry it. I know. Try to hurry it. I need a way to expedite it because it takes a long time for me to make each one. I kind of love it though. I kind of really love learning everybody's energy and what works for them and what's coming through. And it's like, I know, but I do know I've been getting guided. They're telling me like you're clinging to an old way and this is evolving. So stop trying to hold on to the old way that you used to do it. You have to change. So
Exactly.
I know that's where you come in. I know
You can actually set up a Telegram channel, and now the new features of the Telegram channel is that you can even broadcast from there as well. I still need to figure that out myself, but I have a Telegram channel, and so I post all my stuff, but also the links for when I go live. But and in your case, you can do the same, but I'll teach you all that. So you know, there's no problem. And so I want to thank you so much,
Thank
so
you.
much for being you, for whatever contract they gave you before you stepped in here, right?
Know, right? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am so happy to be here with you guys. You're so cool. Thank you so much for having me.
We're definitely going to have you back too. And I hope everybody enjoyed it. I know a lot of people will come and watch later because Elena's live as well.
Okay.
And thank you all so much for being here. And thank you, Zoe. Is there anything else you want to say to the public?
No, just love you guys. Thank you.
Well, then keep the vibration high, be kind to each other, and kick ass.
Yes.
Right? Oh, let
Right.
me see in if there's a chest to do. No, there's no chest to empty actually in the D live. So thank you all for coming, and we'll see you on the flip side again. I'll see you all Monday. I'll be live again. Thank you. Bye bye. Peace out.